So number one, the campuses are not offices. And two, while the term Silicon Valley is shorthand for entrepreneurialism, radical individualism, and a certain economic autonomy from the state, the Santa Clara Valley has benefited from 80 years of federal investment. The architecture of Silicon Valley campuses draw from varied typologies in the valley: garage, incubator, university, research lab, and factory. It's a genealogy perhaps in parallel to the office. The region's campus architecture merges spatial programs from the military-industrial complex, producing a very particular collaborative culture. Examples include war rooms, hackathons, all-hands meetings, beer busts, and none of these are inventions of the big three companies. They all predate in some form to early Silicon Valley cultures, incubated in the mid-20th century in tech companies such as Hewlett-Packard, Intel, Atari, but also in the aerospace and defense industry, Lockheed Martin, Varian, National Semiconductor, AMD, and Stanford's Electrical Engineering Department. The term Silicon Valley was coined in 1971 by Don Hoffler. Its history precedes that by at least 4 decades. Much of the groundwork that led to its success was laid down during World War II and continued throughout the Cold War, with expanded defense funding. Fairchild Semiconductor, which you see circled on the left, is one such company, a company that quite literally gave rise to the entire industry, as you can see in this diagram. At Fairchild, employees were highly motivated, felt autonomous, and had a stake in the company's success, not only financially. It's premised on an idea exemplified by the contemporary tech companies Apple, Google, and Meta, that work is a fundamental component of a person's life. In Silicon Valley, your personal desire for meaningful work is enfolded within company missions. So that's your desire to make a difference in the world, connecting with the "don't be evil" of Google's motto. Management philosophies center on enabling the realization of an employee's full potential, the desire to be productive, to feel that you're doing your best work. And the Silicon Valley workplace is a total environment that engineers the provision of well-being and materializes the manufacture of shared objectives. In early Silicon Valley, the buildings were tilt-up concrete boxes, typically low-rise, labs, offices, and small manufacturing plants. At a larger scale, Silicon Valley is not a single city. It's partly suburban, and it is very much an industrial region, one in which manufacture retains importance. While it lacks a cohesive master plan spatially, it is a sophisticated network of venture capital, manufacturing and machine shops, military contractors, facilities, laboratories, and research institutions. Its geographic center is Superspace Self-Storage in Sunnyvale, once the location of AMD Advanced Micro Devices. It is extensively built over, public transportation is limited, and it lacks a cultural and artistic center. As Rainer Banham wrote in the 1980s, Silicon Valley is not just simply a geographical location. It is a kind of heightened industrial consciousness. And it's really important to understand that today's campuses are not merely office spaces where purely cognitive labor takes place. Designed in California, assembled in China, so goes the famous epitaph engraved on every iPhone. This might be understood as a very neat split between concept and outsourced manufacture, intellectual and manual labor. But actually, design here also includes the design of the manufacture process, prototyped often in Apple's own labs or at small-scale fab labs in the region. The entire process is then exported to China, along with dozens of components from other global manufacturers. So it really is literally assembled in China and not manufactured.